Emily was very responsible about everything, and when she and her husband Carl bought a new house and decided to invite relatives to a housewarming party, the woman decided that everything should be perfect. Emily somehow convinced herself that if the reception was good, then the rest of their life in this house would bring only happiness. There was one small problem. The transport company was late with the delivery of furniture. The table was already in the house, but the chairs were on the way. The husband examined the attic of the house and found 6 garden chairs. It was a pleasant surprise, and Emily decided to receive guests on the terrace. She instructed her husband to put the chairs in order what he was doing. Emily was making the cake. She turned on the mixer and was whipping up the whites when she noticed that the grass in the backyard had grown too much, and it would be nice to cut it before the guests come. Emily started calling Carl, but he didn't answer. This was the last straw. Emily decided that her husband was not answering her on purpose. He didn't share her approach to the holiday. Emily couldn't stand it and got up. "Is it so hard for you to answer? I'm spinning like a squirrel in a wheel. All the preparation is on me. I only asked you to clean the chairs, and it's hard for you to answer." Carl looked at his wife in surprise and tried to say something, but Emily was already going downstairs. She threw off her apron and went outside. Resentment squeezed her throat. Emily was walking down the street and had already taken out her phone to cancel the holiday when a cyclist overtook her. It was Carl, just he was wearing Emily's robe. This look of her husband shocked the woman, and she began to look around. She did not want the neighbors to see her husband in such clothes in the first week. Therefore, she did not argue but quickly returned home with Carl. "What does it all mean? What kind of circus are you doing? Don't you realize that people will start talking about us?" "Put it on." Carl smiled and handed Emily his work jacket. She did not understand but complied with her husband's request. And then he took her to the attic to the chairs, and he went downstairs. Emily heard the sound of the mixer and then Carl screaming. Carl, you know what I thought? Carl, can you hear me?" Emily yelled back at him to stop, but realized that the mixer was on, preventing her husband from hearing her. It was like an epiphany. She suddenly saw the river from the other side. It was as if she really was Carl for a moment, and there was another Emily downstairs with the mixer. She seemed to have Carl's thoughts at that moment. Nothing happened. Indeed, some nonsense. There is no need to yell from above. I'll go down and tell her everything. And why is she so turned on? Strange. Emily realized that no one was trying to ruin her reception, that she herself is to blame for everything because the mixer interfered only with her, and Carl would have agreed to mow that lawn after he finished with the chairs. Emily has always considered herself a smart woman, but it turned out that just being smart wasn't enough. Her smart head was turned off, and emotions raged in her, which a little more and would only make things worse. Emily breathed out. She forced her emotions to recede and went down. Carl turned off the mixer and looked a little scared. He didn't know how Emily would react. "Sorry, I acted like an idiot. She tried to justify herself, but there were no excuses." Carl smiled and hugged his wife. That meeting with relatives went great. Learn to surface from the situation and evaluate it from the outside. Being inside in your skin, you will not be able to do this. Only by looking from the other side, you can understand what the other person thinks and feels.